19 signs he wants to marry you someday and wants a future with you. 1. He makes you a part of his life. When a guy wants you to really be in his life, he'll make you a part of it. This means that you will always know everything about him, you'll know what he's been up to, what his plans are, what is bothering him, etc. If he plans on marrying you, he won't go through life like a single bachelor, and he will make sure you always feel included. That doesn't mean that he has to spend every second of his day with you, but the point is that he'll never make you feel like a stranger. 2. He talks about the future. One of the sure signs that a man has big plans for you and that he wants to marry you is the fact that he includes you in his future plans and sees you in his future. He doesn't have to necessarily talk directly about marrying you, but he will imply that he plans to stick around for a long time. This guy uses the word "we" instead of "me" when talking about the future because he sees you two as a team and as partners. He simply can't imagine living his life without you by his side, and he doesn't have any short or long-term plans that don't include you. This guy simply assumes that the two of you will spend weekends and important holidays together, because he doesn't plan on letting you go from his life. 3. He remembers the little things. If a man hopes you'll become his wife one day, he will want to get to know the real you. This means that this guy pays attention to you and everything you have to say. Therefore, he will never forget your birthday or anniversary or any other date or thing that you find relevant. This man will notice the slightest change in your appearance and behavior. He considers you to be one of the most important people in his life, and therefore everything concerning you is important to him as well. 4. He gives you the keys to his apartment. Most men like having their personal space just for themselves and expect their boundaries to be respected. No matter how madly in love a guy is with you, he will probably want to have a place for himself, where he can relax. Therefore, if your boyfriend has given you the keys to his apartment, it is undeniably a good sign that he plans on marrying you sometime soon. According to him, the two of you living together and marrying each other is a matter of time and a question of pure formality. This shows that he is more than ready to take your relationship to the next level, and he thinks about settling down with you. 5. He asks for your opinion. Men are known to have fragile egos, which makes them claim that they are always right. But if your boyfriend asks for your opinion, it means he values it. And not only that, he values you as a person, he thinks your attitudes are good, and he doesn't mind taking any advice from you. This man obviously plans on marrying you, so he wants to see where you stand regarding different subjects. He hopes that the two of you will spend the rest of your lives together, so he knows that there will be numerous common decisions you two will be making. 6. He wants to get a pet. One of the first signs that a man wants to marry you and that he plans to start a family is the fact that he initiates getting a pet together. First of all, that is a living creature that you both would take care of together and something that will bond you for the rest of its life. Also, any kind of pet requires a lot of responsibility, and he wants to see how the two of you would get along sharing that kind of responsibility. Having a pet is great preparation for a future life and having a family together, and although you may think of it as not such a big deal, it is actually a huge step forward for the two of you because it can be a big test for your relationship. That means that he assumes that the two of you will stick together for a long time. 7. He is protective. It is in every man's nature to protect the woman he loves. It's the same with your boyfriend. He doesn't think of you as just his girlfriend but also as his family, and he considers it is his duty to make sure you are okay. This man thinks of you as his partner, and he doesn't plan on allowing anything bad to happen to you. It doesn't mean that he thinks you can't take care of yourself, he just wants you to know that he has your back, no matter what. He will defend you against everything and everyone and will never do anything harmful to you, and those are signs that you are a huge part of his life and that he wants for it to stay this way for a long time. 8. He takes care of you. When a man truly loves you and wants a future with you, he will take care of you and your needs. That means that he will be worried about your physical health, as well as about your emotions. This guy will never think of your problems as foolish. Instead, he will always try hard to help you resolve them. It will be important to him whether you've eaten, had enough sleep, if there is something bothering you, and if you have everything you need. Besides, he'd never do anything that could make you feel bad, because your happiness is crucial to him. 9. He introduces you to his family and friends. One of the most important signs that he wants to marry you someday is the fact that this guy has introduced you to his family and friends. He thinks of you as a huge part of his life and wants all the people important to him to get to know you as well. It is important to him that you get along with all of them, because those are the people he loves besides you. He invites you to all of his family gatherings and to hang out with his friends because he hopes you'll form a connection with them. With time, these people have started seeing the two of you as an item and they assume you'll end up together. Besides, he is interested in spending time with your friends and family, and he wants to get to know them better too, because he considers them to be a part of who you are. This man tries really hard to impress them and for them to like him, and this is a great sign of his future plans with you. He hopes that all of you will become one big family someday, and he knows it is important for all of you to get along well. 10. He enjoys spending time with you when you end up marrying someone. It means that the two of you will be spending a lot of time together, for the rest of your lives. Therefore, if your boyfriend enjoys spending his free time with you and it looks like you never bore him, it is definitely one of the signs he wants to marry you someday. It is probable that the two of you enjoy similar things in life, so it is not a problem for him to make compromises in your relationship with activities and places to visit. This man obviously finds you interesting and wants to know everything about you, and it means he won't have trouble being with you forever. 11. He shares everything with you. Usually, men don't like sharing their personal details with just about anyone. But it is different when it comes to the woman they plan on spending their life with. This guy is very certain that you are the one, so he doesn't have any trouble opening up to you and reaching this level of closeness with you. You know everything about his past and he doesn't hide anything from you. You know this man's deepest fears, hopes and dreams, and he certainly wouldn't reveal that much about himself to someone who he didn't plan on keeping in his life. This man obviously sees you too as an item, and he doesn't have to pretend to be someone he is not just so you would like him more. He is certain of your love and knows that you love him for who he really is, and he isn't scared to show you his true colors. He hopes that there will come a time when the two of you will share a life together, so he thinks pretending and lying at this point wouldn't make any sense, because his true face would be revealed sometime soon anyway. 12. He wants to move in together. One of the most important signs he wants to marry you someday soon is the fact that he suggests the two of you move in together. Even if he doesn't talk directly about marriage a lot, it is obvious that he wants to share his life with you. Moving in together is a huge deal. It can ruin a relationship, or it can show you that the two of you really are meant to be together. Either way, it is something you don't do with just anyone, and it is proof of how serious his intentions for you are. When you move in together, you are practically already married, just without any legal documentation. This guy loves you enough that he wants to spend every day of his life with you. Besides, if he thinks you two are compatible enough to live together, it is obvious that he thinks that you can also be married sometimes in the future. Remember, when a man wants to move in with you, the next thing you can expect from him is to get down on one knee and pop the question. 13. He supports you. When a man has serious plans for you, he will do his best to have your back through thick and thin. If he plans to marry you, he sees you two as a team, and he is ready to hold your hand and to go shoulder to shoulder with you through life. Therefore, he will always help you with all of your issues and concerns, and he will go out of his way to show you his support, whenever you need it. He wants you to know that he will be there for you and that he won't abandon you the moment things get rough, and that is something a husband would do. 14. You two hang out with his married friends. No matter what anybody tells you, the surroundings are very important for everyone. If your boyfriend hangs out with single bachelors and players, it is likely that he won't have any serious future plans with you. But if most of his friends are happily married couples, it is natural that he thinks about it too. He sees that marriage is nothing to be afraid of and that it should be the next step in his life as well. And every time his friends are with their wives, he invites you to come along. That means that he considers you to be his plus one and his partner, and that you are nothing less to him than his friends' wives are to them. 15. He talks about having kids. If you keep hearing your boyfriend talking about kids and how he would like to have them in the future, it is obvious that his biological clock is ticking and that he wants to start a family sometime soon. He doesn't tell you straight that he wants to have children with you, but he implies it casually or even jokes about how nice it would be. He often talks about potential names for your kids and what would they look like. This man thinks of you as mother material, and he loves and respects you enough that he hopes you'll be the mother of his children. Besides, whenever he sees a kid, he runs off to play with them, showing you his fatherly qualities. He mentions this because he wants to know where you stand regarding this topic. He is interested in if you would like to have kids, and he wants to talk to you about raising his potential children. 16. He makes you feel like you are the only woman in the world. If your boyfriend thinks of marriage as something serious and long-term, he will want it to last for a lifetime. Therefore, one of the signs that this guy wants to marry you someday is the fact that he makes you feel like you are the only woman in the world. Because for him, there really doesn't exist anyone else. He only has eyes for you, and he isn't afraid to show that. You never feel like you have to compete with another woman for his attention and love because you know you have him just to yourself. All of this means that he obviously takes your relationship seriously and that he doesn't have any problem spending the rest of his life with just one woman, if that woman is you. 17. He saves money. If a man is planning to propose to you, he will be extra careful about money. He will save all the money he can before the wedding day, because he knows he'll need it. You may think that your boyfriend has suddenly become cheap, but it is more likely that he actually plans on popping the big question, and that is the reason for him cutting his budget. 18. He doesn't have a problem with showing affection in front of other people. If a man wants to marry you, he will never hide you from others. Instead, he will be proud to be with you, and he will want everyone to know that you are his girlfriend and future wife. This guy will never be insecure about expressing his feelings for you, and he won't have any trouble showing affection in public and when you are around other people. 19. You share assets. One of the obvious signs he wants to marry you is the fact that the two of you share assets. It is irrelevant whether you have bought a house or a car or you have a joint bank account. The point is that you have started living as a team and as a married couple. Your money is his money and vice versa, and this is how things will be once you get married. This man obviously plans on sharing his life with you, if he is ready to share his belongings.